Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. If you hear that my voice is just a little bit off today, it's just because I'm still waking up. So hopefully I'll warm up into the reading. But I wanted to come on and share some messages with our collective. This is one of our collective reading videos that we channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel. So if you are new, then welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm already feeling this flow of energy and messages coming in, which definitely tells me that for some of you listening, you're dealing with a very powerful, intense situation or connection with someone or something in your life. So I'm excited to go ahead and get into the messages. And I'm going to start today by pulling a couple cards here. For some reason, right away, I got the letter initials D, R, E, and W, which of course could be the name Drew or maybe the fuller name Andrew for someone. Okay, so the first card to come out here is the Judgment card. And the affirmation on this card says, I am awakening to my calling. Now, the interesting thing is, I clearly saw two people here having a conversation, and this conversation was really lighting them both up. I was going to say it was elevating them, but it was lighting them both up energetically. And it's because of something you said towards this person that had a major impact on them emotionally. So I'm feeling as though, yes, you may have specific creative projects, things that you're doing in your life, ongoing things in your world that you are physically creating. However, it's interesting here because I'm picking up that on a deeper level, part of your core calling here on earth is to participate in interactions with others that provide this mutually elevating, mutually uplifting kind of benefits. And so I feel as though someone I'm picking up on here, you are being pushed out more socially to connect more with others, to open up into the world. And it might look like small ways at first, but people are being manifested into your life, or rather, they are manifesting you into their lives, even if it's just for a brief moment, an encounter, a conversation. These could even be complete strangers that you are interacting with very briefly, all the way up to people who may be really in your life and aligned with you in a conscious way indefinitely. But regardless of the nature of these connections, I'm getting that part of this calling you're awakening to is this kind of inspirational influence that you are having on other people, on the people around you. I'm also getting the message rebirth. And of course, along with that, I got this imagery of a phoenix. So maybe a phoenix is significant for someone. Maybe you're going through some period of time where you feel as though, I got the letter initials GRETCHWN. So those could be in someone's name here. But what I'm picking up here is you are going through this rebirth of yourself in a sense. And I'm actually going to look up a bit more of the phoenix symbolism. I'm also hearing something about the state of Arizona that could be significant to someone. Yeah, I feel that this is you really coming to life in a powerful way. Yes, you've been physically breathing on this planet and living for a while, but I feel as though you went through a period of time where you almost felt caught between life and death in a sense, almost as though you were in this limbo state where, yes, you were physically on this planet, but you were also feeling so physically disconnected from the world, from people around you, really in this almost in-between state where most of what you were doing and exploring was actually internal and energetic and traditionally maybe spiritual or esoteric in nature. And during that time, again, you may have felt very closed off to the outside world. Well, now you're taking that information, and I don't even mean literal information intellectually, that energetic information, that change to your very cellular structure, that change to your very DNA, in a sense, that happened through that period of spiritual metamorphosis, that limbo period we've been talking about. You're taking that, and now you're sharing this inspirational energy with the people around you. And again, I just got another message. So your calling here, it's almost like twofold. So part of the calling is directly sharing inspiration, helping to uplift and elevate and inspire others, which sometimes you might do through very specific things that you say to other people that for some reason you just feel the desire to say. You might just feel pulled to someone, and then in a conversation, it's almost like something is channeling through you, something that that person needs to hear. And this could be a way in which you elevate them. But I'm also getting sometimes this elevation that takes place could actually happen more so through the example of how you're living your life and what you're doing, whether it's, I'm hearing publicly, what you're doing publicly. So for someone listening here, you are taking something very personal to you, whether it's a goal, a dream, a vision, your music, your art, your writing. Maybe this is even just your authentic self that has been very private, that hasn't really been shared with the world. I feel you are taking this private part of yourself and you are sharing it publicly with the world in a way that is as a byproduct, but also as the purpose, in a sense, meaning even if that's not your conscious intention, you're creating to create or to put your voice out into the world or to see something come into fruition. A byproduct of that very naturally is the fact that you are inspiring and elevating so many people around you, because I feel that you fill others with a sense of hope. That is coming out very, very strongly here, that through watching you share yourself or share your art with the world publicly, this is actually inspiring hope within others. And I'm just seeing this visual representation that we sometimes get here on the channel. I talk about this being like a map where there are lights representing people who are really lit up from within. For some reason, that phrase was coming out really strongly, lit up from within. It reminds me of the song Snow on the Beach. Weird but beautiful. You wanted me, tonight feels impossible. Those are some of the lyrics from the song. I don't remember the full song, but that's very interesting. So there might be something about snow or the beach, or maybe this is a message from someone that you've been inspiring. And I have to say, this person, this connection feels a little bit fuzzy and undefined. This might even be the connection space that we've been reading into in some of our most previous readings recently, because this feels like a connection where I'm hearing, are we friends? Are we lovers? Are we inspiring each other in business or work or creativity? So this may be a very multifaceted connection that it's almost like you're meant to be in each other's lives, but you're not sure what that capacity is supposed to look like or how exactly you're supposed to label it, define it, or conceptualize it in a concrete way. The one thing that feels really for certain here is the need to be connected in the physical, and that it's somehow important for the two of you to sustain some kind of connection right now. And you're both feeling that and acting on that. I see that you're both making an effort to sustain a connection here, to be in each other's lives, but there's this sense of, what exactly is this supposed to be? How are we supposed to label this? I feel a lot goes unsaid, mostly because there's that fuzzy, undefined element to it. But I actually feel there's a reason for that on a divine level. I feel as though there's a reason that this is a bit undefined. It's almost meant to be undefined. I just saw the number 1010. So because this person is coming through so strongly, we are going to get further into this message. But I have to say, before we continue on, there's something more with this Judgment card. I feel that part of how you've inspired maybe this specific person or others generally is somehow connecting with your presence brings a deeper sense of clarity into their lives. It somehow helps them to remember who they are, but also brings clarity to their purpose and leaves them feeling energized after their conversations and interactions with you. But I do sense that this is a mutual energy exchange as well, because while they leave feeling energized and inspired, you also leave with this sense of passion and energy. And it's because you are, again, fulfilling an aspect of your soul's calling here. I'm hearing trust the connections in your life that are there and that feel as though they're meant to be there without knowing why. We've talked a bit about soul contracts, and soul contracts don't necessarily have to be these super permanent long-term situations, although of course they can be in the physical. But very often we can have a soul contract with a stranger that we interact with for 30 seconds, or a person who's in our life as a friend for a couple months. I just get that you are almost receiving these rapid fire activations of soul contracts in the physical in your life. And they're almost happening either so quickly or so intensely that there's no time to consciously sort out the details of why exactly you meant this person or what exactly their role is meant to be in your life. There's no figuring it out from that conscious perspective. It's something that you have to feel your way through. And the guidance coming through here is to allow yourself to follow those feelings. If you feel as though someone is meant to be in your life for a time and that connection feels mutually elevating, then it's almost like just allow it to, I'm hearing allow it to exist. I'm also getting allow it to breathe, which could speak to creating a little bit of space in a connection, being easy about a connection. So maybe this is about this specific person we've been channeling into. We've been talking about how this connection space that's been coming up in some of these recent readings feels a bit undefined, but there's a very strong sense of wanting to be connected. I just keep hearing wanting to stay connected. So maybe this is someone who is thinking to themselves that they want to stay connected with you. I got the name K-E-N-T, Kent, or again, it could be letter initials for someone listening here. Now, I am going to pull a few words from the Love Word Scramble. So I got the word invented, cast, maybe someone's an actor or an actress, fellow, the name Jim, ancient, the name William, journey, fly, atom, A-T-O-M. So someone could be in the science field, but this also could relate to the name Adam, A-D-A-M. The name Anne, the name Jane or Jan. Interesting. So those are some words coming out here. Now, whenever I do channel specific names or details for the reading, I always recommend, of course, using your intuition, only taking the details that connect with you personally, because we do tend to get a lot of specific details from that portion of the reading. Wow. Okay. So the first card coming out for this connection that we are describing is the Four of Wands, which you guys know is my number one union or reunion card in the deck. I feel that if the connection we're channeling into has a romantic undertone here, this is a person who wants a very long-term connection with you. And when I say long-term, this isn't just even like months or years. I feel this is almost someone who's already incorporated you into their life plans secretly behind the scenes. Like, I feel almost like this person is thinking to themselves, How can I keep you in my life permanently? They want you to be a permanent fixture in their life and vice versa. And that's really influencing how they're handling you and how they're handling this connection. Because I'm getting another message here as well. And this is on timing, which, especially if you're a divine feminine, we've discussed timing a lot on this channel. And recently we've been talking about wounded masculine energies that pressure you into timing that feels premature to you on a divine level, on a deeper level, because, and I know I'm addressing the divine feminines here, you could be a divine masculine, and we all do have a balance of both of those energies within each of us, and they're unrelated to gender specifically. These are more about energy dynamics. So take it however it resonates for you. But what I'm picking up here is you have had, and I just felt this like a wave of energy and adrenaline and butterflies. Maybe you're feeling that around this person or around something in your life. I saw a castle. I'm hearing something about a fairy tale ending. Maybe something about your connection with this person feels very fairy tale-esque. There's almost like this magical quality to it. Okay, so we were talking about timing and the divine feminine. The divine feminine is naturally connected to divine time. It's almost as though the clock of the divine is literally integrated within your cellular structure, within your being, within your bones, literally. And you feel that connection or disconnection from your higher timing, from that divine timing, through the form of your intuition. Your intuition can speak to you through emotions, through more of a physical level, the physical bodily sensations, through a mental level, things popping into your mind. But regardless, you know how to tell when the timing is right, because you get this, I've been calling it the green light energy on the channel. That's how we've been referring to this. It's this, we all know that feeling of wild horses couldn't stop you from moving towards something. And it's funny that I use that phrase because I don't think I've ever used that phrase in my life or speaking on this channel. So maybe that's a phrase significant to someone. Maybe horses are significant to someone. But when, as a divine feminine, you begin to feel pressure around timing from a masculine energy, that immediately speaks to a wound within that masculine. Because the awakened divine masculine, the healed divine masculine, which of course we're all on this continuous path of healing, expansion, evolution. But when I say the healed divine masculine, I mean someone who's very open-hearted and continuously on a path of opening their heart further, who's lit up energetically in the sense that they've raised their frequency to a level of being able to consistently connect with their own higher self, their own soul, however you want to refer to that divine aspect of the human self. And when they're consistently doing that, they will not pressure you as a divine feminine out of your timing, because they have this innate knowing and a respect and an honoring for the timing of their divine feminine counterpart. They recognize that the divine feminine has an awareness of a higher timing, and they honor that timing without needing to necessarily consciously understand it. Another thing about this is sometimes when someone pressures you initially in the early stages of getting to know them, it's because they've already perceived the time limit on your connection consciously or subconsciously. What I mean by this is when a connection isn't right for us in the long term spiritually, let's say that we just met someone briefly and we were meant to exchange an interaction, a conversation, but they got kind of hooked on our energy and want to stay in our lives. Sometimes they can subconsciously feel that this connection has a time limit because, again, maybe the soul contract is meant to be shorter. And when they subconsciously feel this, they can actually pressure us to move very quickly with them in some sense, or pressure us into particular timing, because it's almost like they're trying to rush ahead within that connection, knowing that it has these natural limiters on it. It's almost them sensing that they are in this wounded place and that we are on this path of doing the healing work, introspecting, growing spiritually, and they can sense that they're not doing that kind of introspection work. But instead of doing the work, they choose to project that outward and try to pressure us into moving more quickly with them in terms of timing. And I'm not just talking romantic connections. This can be anywhere. This can be in the workplace. This can be in friendships. Just know that whenever you feel that pressure, like someone is externally trying to pressure you away from your own guidance, away from your own personal timing, and onto their constructed timeline, oftentimes this is someone who is not on that path of wanting to heal and grow and introspect internally, but they see that you are, and they've gotten hooked on some aspect of your energy or addicted to some hit that they get energetically when they connect with you, when they bond with you, when they speak with you. And so they're trying to get more of that kind of in this artificial way through this pressure, instead of by connecting with you consistently. The only way you can truly connect with the divine feminine consistently in the physical realm, which is by committing to that spiritual path within yourself. It's so interesting because connecting with an awakened divine feminine is truly a path back home within the self. The more deeply you connect with that home space within, the more you can naturally connect and consistently align with the divine feminine externally in a way that's very natural and effortless. But most people are very resistant to that so-called journey home within themselves. And that's often what complicates many of your relationships as well. We've talked about this dynamic before, and by the way, I will probably be using the term divine feminine in the title of this video, just because clearly there are a lot of messages here specifically for divine feminines. But we've talked about how many people meet you and initially they are hooked on your energy, they're really addicted to you, and then suddenly they drop out of your life. And that is because many people can feel your presence, your light, your energy, and how it positively influences them. And then when they become, in a sense, addicted to that, they try to kind of latch onto it and artificially push forward a connection with you in the physical to keep getting those energetic hits, but all the while being resistant within themselves to taking that internal journey. When this happens, that's when your intuition starts giving you mixed signals or even red lights where you just feel like you have to put a total stop on things. The word flaky is coming out. So I'm getting that at times this can make you appear or be judged as flaky to others. For example, if you cancel plans, if you choose to disconnect from certain people, set stronger boundaries, move away from certain people or connections. But you may have even in the past kind of gaslit yourself, wondering if maybe you were kind of flaky in these connections or just being anxious or overthinking for no reason. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's almost like that's the track in your head that has ran in the past because that's what other people told you. You may have had people telling you, oh, you're just overthinking this. You're just anxious. No, that's not the case. You are guided. You are intuitive. And when you begin to feel off about something, when your intuition is giving you that red light signal, trust it because there's a reason for it. I'm also getting the affirmation with this 4 of Wands card. I deserve to celebrate my accomplishments. I'm seeing a mountain and someone climbing a mountain. Hiking might be significant in a general sense for someone. I got the letter initials SOWR. Interesting. The word sow is in there, SOW, which of course relates to sowing seeds, planting seeds. So maybe part of what you're doing through these connections with people you're coming into contact with is planting seeds spiritually and energetically that don't take root everywhere. Just like you can plant many seeds, but if the conditions aren't right, that seed will not sprout. It will not grow. It's like you are the planter of seeds, but you can't control what they do with the seed. The seed holds limitless potential for growth and for bearing fruit, in a sense, metaphorically, but you can't control what someone else chooses to do with the seed that you plant, although it's your sole purpose to be the planter of these seeds. Interesting. Okay, so with I deserve to celebrate my accomplishments, I'm getting this message about you entering this era where it's almost like this period of time where, and when I saw the mountain, it's almost like someone climbing a mountain and needing to take a moment to pause and rest and enjoy the view that they've achieved because of where they've climbed to so far. And I see this being you getting this message possibly from your guides or higher self to allow yourself to enjoy what you've already accomplished and to be proud of yourself and to take a moment to bask in how far you've come. I'm seeing you could even make a list of all the ways that you've grown and expanded in your life. Now, I meant to mention this at the beginning, but this actually feels very guided because it feels like the perfect place to mention it now. But I want to say as well that I am offering free tarot reading giveaways once a month on this channel, or at least for the month of November. So if you are listening to this prior to December 1st, 2024, you can still enter the free tarot reading giveaway. Again, it's completely free, and all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. And I usually come up with different comment prompts for this. So that's why I said this feels like the perfect timing for this to come up, because the comment prompt today is going to be describe in the comments one way that you've grown or expanded or evolved, one thing that you're really proud of. Because I also feel that especially within communities of individuals that are very socially and emotionally evolved and intelligent, it's this natural humility tends to come along with that, because you're very aware of how everything you do and say could be affecting others, especially considering how empathic you are. So it might be very common for you to intentionally not verbally express to the people around you things that you're proud of about yourself, things that you're doing in your life that you're really excited about. And I'm saying that because I would love to hear something beautiful or exciting or something that you're proud of in your life, because I am so proud of you. This whole community is so proud of you. Your guides are proud of you, and you deserve to feel and bask in that feeling of pride for yourself. And when I say that, I'm speaking to myself here too, because I go through the same things. It's so easy to become really involved mentally with how other people are reacting to what you're doing. And I think when this comes to allowing yourself to be so proud of you, it can be somewhat difficult sometimes to really consciously lock that in, but it's so powerful because it will feed more of that same energy. So just leaving a comment and letting this community know one thing that you're proud of in yourself, in your life, really anything, this will actually it will create that feedback loop of energy that will generate even more of those things to be happy and proud and excited about in your life. So I hope that this community here can be a space virtually where, regardless of what's going on in your life socially at the moment, although I know that many of us are beginning to open up more socially to those physical connections, to those soulmates that are manifesting, that soul tribe manifesting in our life. And that's so beautiful. But regardless of how that's looking for you, where you're at with all of that, I hope that in the least this online space can be a place where you can openly share your excitement, achievement, accomplishments, voice, inspiration, and receive that support back here as well. So a huge thank you to all of you who are part of facilitating and co-creating this virtual space here. So now that I'm done with that whole tangent, let me go ahead and pull another card here, because I said we were going to look into this connection. And Wow. Okay. So the connection coming up here that we were talking about being in almost this kind of undefined space is giving us the Six of Pentacles. And so right away, I feel as though this is someone who naturally feels a desire to give to you. But that word give also sounded like the words open up. They naturally desire to open up themselves to you, to give themselves to you in some sense. There is such an open heart chakra bond between you and this person. My guides are actually showing it to me in a very visual way. This may or may not have happened as an actual scenario in your lives, but I heard Leo, maybe someone's a Leo. I saw two people sitting across each other at a table, and I literally can visualize this glowing light extending from one person's heart chakra to the other. And it's this extremely strong cord of energy. And I'm hearing it gives both of you a glow because you are both connecting to your hearts more naturally as you are connecting with each other. You find it really easy to be open-hearted with each other because there's no need to really filter or translate your soul into words. Although those physical words are happening, there's a mutual exchange of words in most cases here. But it's almost like the words are irrelevant in a sense. It's kind of an afterthought. The words are there to give that concrete physical element to your bond and to your communication. But the true communication is happening so much deeper. It's that telepathy between your hearts. It reminds me of that quote, there is telepathy between hearts. And that is absolutely the case between you and this person. But what I'm also seeing with this Six of Pentacles card is that not only does this person want to give to you, and I actually do see this might be very literal as well, where it's like they want to take care of you. They want to give you things. I'm seeing someone like pulling out someone's chair, opening someone's door, especially if this is a masculine. They may naturally feel themselves wanting to give you these gestures and things in a way that just feels so natural. But it's something else here as well. This card also speaks to that mutual elevation taking place here, that mutual energy exchange that this person feels and that I'm getting you feel as well. And part of what makes it so comfortable between you is there is this sense of balance. And I know that sounds simple, but when you've been in many connections where there's been an energy imbalance, it's actually extremely powerful and significant that this connection is so balanced, that there is that reciprocated giving and taking of energy that both of you are feeling very naturally. And I'm hearing it's because you both have your hearts open that you're able to give and receive this energy so easily. So, wow, beautiful messages coming through here. We're going to keep channeling into this in the extended reading. So if you want more details on this connection, the nature of it, possibly let's look at the purpose of this connection. If I can get messages specifically on that on Patreon, the purpose of this connection in both of your lives, more on what this person is thinking and feeling towards you. And also on Patreon, we're going to open up the reading and channel into other people or energies that may be connected to you or sending you heavy energy at this time. And I just saw the number 3333, which tells me some of those energies may actually be highly spiritual in nature. So this even could be spirit guides trying to communicate with you. This could be a spiritual connection in your life that is communicating with you energetically, telepathically, that's thinking about you really heavily. Okay, so let's go ahead and channel one final Rumi quotes. Okay, so the quote here is, there's actually two quotes. If the foot of the trees were not tied to the earth, they would be pursuing me, for I have blossomed so much. I am the envy of the gardens. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it, which is a pretty popular Rumi quote, but feels very relevant to a lot of people who may be listening to this reading. So I really hope this reading was helpful to you in some way. If so, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself for more inspiration, energy updates, and information. And of course, if you do want to enter the free tarot reading giveaway for the month of November, we talked about it earlier, but the full instructions for your reference are in the description box of this video. And if you are continuing on with me into our extended Patreon reading, where we will be diving so much deeper into these messages, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day and week, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.